Why is Manchester United determined not to fire Solskjaer? Despite the poor results as well as the pressure of the fans, Solskjaer is still in place at Manchester United. As does so. When the domestic football leagues take a break to make way for international football matches, it is also the right time to fire the coach. Because a period of 2 weeks is enough for the new coaches to have time to get used to the new team. Last Sunday, Daniel Farke was sacked by Norwich City, despite having just helped this team get their first victory in the Premier League. A day later, it was Dean Smith's turn to be sent to the streets by Aston Villa after a series of 5 consecutive defeats. We all know the next name to be mentioned. Losing 4 and winning only 1 match in the Premier League, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's chair, although not the type that can be massaged, is showing signs of shaking. It is not a coincidence that the bookie Paddy Power only offers a 4-to-1 bet for Solskjaer, who was fired before Christmas. However, as the old tree is still there despite the change of scenery in the village, Solskjaer is expected to remain in place after this international break. The Athletic's Daniel Taylor made a comment that could hurt Manchester United fans. Solskjaer seems to be staying put. That's unacceptable at other big clubs, but it makes sense for Manchester United. The fact that United are not trying to approach a coach of top quality like Antonio Conte shows that Taylor is right. As the journalist himself points out, if there was genuine interest from Man United, Conte and his associates would know about it. So why does the Norwegian coach still comfortably breathe the atmosphere at Old Trafford? First of all, as BLV Jamie Carragher puts it, it is possible that the Manchester United board is scared to bring in someone like Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho to replace Solskjaer. That's not a Manchester United man. This is not wrong, based on what they have done in the past. There are clubs that prove to be very suitable for the short-term approach: Real Madrid, Chelsea, Inter Milan, or PSG, for example, while there are other teams that favor the longer-term approach. Manchester United belongs to the second school. That's why they gave David Moyes, who used to lead Everton for 13 years, a contract of up to 6 years. The team's leadership tried to resist this temptation when turning to the likes of Van Gaal or Mourinho, only to eventually find stability in Solskjaer. The 3 years Solskjaer held the team was the 3 years the team was constantly in the state of a person in the middle of the sea with a plank, not completely sinking, but constantly struggling, unstable. But Solskjaer, in some inexplicable way, constantly saves himself to continue in position. Since taking charge of Manchester United in December 2018, Solskjaer has kept Man United unbeaten in 12 consecutive Premier League matches, with the highlight being an unbelievable victory over PSG to reach the quarter-finals of the Champions League. So even though he lost 5 of the remaining 9 in the Premier League, Solskjaer was still kept. In the 1920th season, to the beginning of February 2020, Manchester United was still in 7th place. But the Norwegian coach continued to rescue himself again, when unbeaten for the rest of the season, in which 9 wins, enough to help United qualify for the Champions League next season. By last season, Man United had dropped to 15th place after a defeat to Arsenal in early November, not to mention they failed to qualify for the Champions League group stage next month. But Solskjaer continued to wake up at the right time when he was unbeaten in 13 consecutive matches in the Premier League. Manchester United's leadership is therefore still waiting for another awakening from the Norwegian strategist, although with the massive shopping spree last summer, expectations for this season will be much higher than in previous seasons. As well as this is already the fourth season Solskjaer repeats the chorus up and down. Meanwhile, Sky Sports columnist and former Manchester United player Gary Neville believes Ed Woodward, the United CEO who will leave the team at the end of the season, doesn't want his last job at United is to fire Solskjaer. Part of the reason is because Woodward only handed Solskjaer a 3-year contract in July this year. Woodward knows that the new CEO will probably blame him for firing Solskjaer, Neville added. That is what worries those who want a change in the Man United coaching bench. Not because of a lack of suitable candidates. There are dozens of coaches with more experience and tactical acumen than Solskjaer, who can't be worse at the moment. That's because Manchester United will not make any move to let the legend of the team quit. The fact that Ed Woodward didn't want the last thing he did at United, which was said to be against his logic, was a joke. First of all, the amount of backing Solskjaer certainly cannot be as much as when they had to spend nearly £20 million to compensate Mourinho and his team. If you say like the phrase that BLV Jamie Redknapp likens, firing Solskjaer is no longer the same as shooting the deer Bambi. There will still be supporters of the 48-year-old coach, but the vast majority understand it is time for him to leave. It was also ironic that Woodward worried about being blamed or not respected anymore. He and his owners, the Glazers, will be among the most disparaged figures in the club's history. In the end, it would be a mistake for such an obvious football decision to be delayed simply because of one's fearful ego. In fact, sacking Solskjaer could be Woodward's last chance to do something right. But it seems he has enough arrogance to say no to this.